Welcome back to Horns High Studios for another episode of 666 Seconds of Metal. I'm here with Shane from Winnipeg, Manitoba.
What's up, Pete?
Canada. How you doing, buddy?
Doing pretty good, man.
Hanging in there through the winter, hoping it gets over with sooner than later. But
oh, fuck yeah. It's been an awesome winter, though, so I can't complain. It's just been fucking wicked.
No, it's been pretty sweet, so I definitely hear that. But you got a good one on tap here for us tonight. What are you going to talk about?
Fuck yeah. Today we're talking Dissimulator, but, it's first off, we're not talking about the Christian deathcore band with Jared Dines, Dissimulator. This is definitely not that. We're talking about Dissimulator, the Canadian technical death thrash band hailing out of Montreal, Quebec. Now, I was going to start this out by saying, I'm not a big fan of tech death and technical thrash, yes. Technical death, no. So, I got into it a bit just to see how big the genre really was. And it turns out I do listen to a fair bit of tech death. Bands like Death, Pestilence, Atheist, Cynic, that's all considered tech death and all stuff I like. Right. So for me, there's a line that gets crossed anyways with the tech death. All of a sudden, it's just too fast, and it can get kind of carried away for me. Stuff like like Archspire, stuff like that.
Yeah, I can't do that.
It's just not relaxing to me. I can do small doses, but it's just too abrasive for me. But this is not like that. It's definitely not crazy fast like that. So Dissimulator, they're a fairly new three-piece band out of Canada. They're on the 20 Buck Spin label. Now, I'm not too familiar with 20 Buck Spin, but I know Tomb Mold is on the same label, and they had a pretty big release this in 2023.
Okay.
So Dissimulator, new band formed during the pandemic, and they're classified as technical death thrash. They only have the one album. This is their debut album titled Lower Form Resistance, and it just came out a couple weeks ago in January. So it's just hot off the presses. I came across it on X, Twitter, and I just love it. These guys, they originally set out to make it just an old school thrash album, but it turned into a tech death thrash album. So they say it just kind of evolved, and so it's just a great combination.
The cover
it's very
is really
cyborgy.
Cool.
It's got that Borg feel to it.
Yeah, I definitely like it. It's cool. And I like the album too. I listened to several songs. I don't know if I've heard it all yet, but I liked what I heard. It is good.
It's just a great combination of tech thrash and tech death, and the thrash in it is really fucking amazing. It's just crazy, just monster thrash riffs in there.
Yeah, with thrash, you got to have the riffs. I mean, it's all about the riffage in thrash. So, yeah, these guys bring it. Like you said, man, a lot of good riffs. I like the writing. I like the way they change things up. Definitely very creative band, and I think love to hear, how they progress. Like you said, this is the first one, so love to hear them beyond this.
Yeah, it'll be. I think they'll have a pretty good career, and because this album is pretty well received for them, and so they're they're from Quebec, so they're French Canadian. So I'm probably going to screw up their names here. So on bass we have Antoine Desnus. On drums, we have Philippe Boucher, and on vocals, we have Claude Leduc. And as I said, they're a pandemic band, which was challenging for all bands, but a new band especially so. They actually went into the studio and recorded a couple tracks that they had not even played live together, so it was very strange for them, and there was a lot of sending files back and forth just to hammer everything out.
Oh, wow.
So as you can tell by the cover, it's very science fiction-y. She's a Borg-looking chick on the cover, and that's the way the whole album feels to it, a very science fiction feel to it, and spacey sounding, technology-driven with a dystopian edge, and I like some nerdy stuff, so this was a good fit for me. I love science fiction, technology, thrash, and death, so it was a no-brainer for me. It's hard to say what these guys sound like if you compare them to other bands. So I'll just say that I'm pretty sure these guys are big fans of Voivod and Gorguts, and they're all from the same general area, actually, so that's pretty cool.
Right.
Yeah, they're definitely not a clone of anybody. They have a very unique sound. The production, the mixing, they're both very good. You can hear everything very clearly. And that's one thing I like about a lot of tech thrash and tech death is actually their sound is usually really good. They have great mixing and separation. They know how to dial in the bass, and the bass is usually a lot cleaner sounding. It's not heavily distorted.
Right.
Plus, they're a three-piece, and the bass usually sticks out a bit more with a three-piece. And vocals are pure death, though, and it's mostly a deep growl. There's a couple clean spots. They have a bit of a robotic vocal in there sometimes, some of an electronic sounding vocal, like in the track Warped. And but there's no sleepers on the album. Every track is a banger. Lyrically, it's dystopian sci-fi, but it's not really a concept album. That's just a general theme. They cover different aspects of technology and how it affects society. And the vocalist is actually in university taking social psychology, so I'm sure he drew on that for a lot of inspiration. And they like fans like The Matrix, Star Trek, Blade Runner, Ghost in the Shell, so that's where they get all their inspiration from.
Yeah, and they sing in English too, so that's
and
good.
They sing in English, yeah. So just to give you an idea of how sci-fi it sounds, some of their track titles are Neural Hack, Outer Phase, one of my favorites, Automoil and Robotoil, Cybermorphism, Mainframe, and of course the title track titled Lower Form Resistance. And the title track is very interesting. Actually, it's the last track on the album, and it's entirely instrumental, which is kind of weird for a title track. I was listening to the album, last track comes on, I'm waiting for him to start singing, and it just doesn't happen. So it threw me off there.
Yeah,
kind of threw me off. Yeah. 7 tracks in total. Most of the tracks are pretty long, anywhere from 6 to 8 minutes. Comes in at 41 minutes total. I really like this album a lot. It's a great, strong debut album, and I got a feeling by at the end of the year, it's still going to be a contender for my top 10. I just love it.
That's awesome, man. I know you were really digging on it. Like I said, I like it too, and we usually do agree. And we both love thrash. We both love death. So when you combine the two of them, I'm in for that. I'm definitely down.
It's a fucking win-win, man. It's a win-win.
Yes, for sure. Well, there you have it. I hope you guys
Lower
enjoyed.
Form Resistance from Dissimulator. Check it out.
Go check it out, and we'll see you guys next time on 666 Seconds of Metal.
Horns fucking high, guys.